I have found, while searching for a good vehicle to start converting into a full-time home, that there is an almost limitless supply of vehicle types to use as a foundation for a conversion project. I have done research for years looking for the best foundation, and I have not found a detailed video quickly showing all the different types of vehicles available to convert that I could use to quickly identify my options and avoid searching through the infinite videos and tours and walkthroughs and blogs, because even now I discover new types I haven't seen before. The purpose of this video is to list out all the options I have encountered during my research to make your search faster and make you more informed so you can get the vehicle that best fits your needs and goals. I will not be covering trailers in this video, but those things could be covered in another video if requested. But I will be providing you with a general overview of each motorized vehicle type I have encountered in my research. Let's begin. First, let's make sure you know the most common foundations available in case you are just starting out on your research journey. Vehicles have always been seen as mobile shelters as far back as horses and wagons that were used to build the foundations of America and the use of them by the famous traveling gypsies throughout history. And with the industrialization and creation of engines available to most people, motorized shelters were surely already being planned. The early motorhome prototypes eventually developed into the most common type of motorhome, the motorhome, RV, or camper as they are usually called. RVs are recognizable and traditional forms of motorhomes, which means they have a significant infrastructure built for them in America, and have many models and products designed for use with them, including some standardized parts and systems. Though I, as someone who has worked on and seen the inner workings of RVs, do not recommend this choice for a few reasons. Let's discuss the cons of RVs. RVs are made as cheap as possible because they are made by large companies that have reworked them many times to make them functional enough to get them on the road, but weak enough to keep them coming in for repairs and upgrades. This means cheap materials are used that break, and systems are installed without longevity and durability in mind. For example, the screws that hold most of the paper-like material onto the vehicle's interior walls fall out with a little bit of highway driving because they are screwed into such a thin and unstable material. These kind of issues are the reason people want to start from scratch using material that they choose and research and know how to work with to get the best structure and foundation for their custom build. And the only benefit I can think of buying an RV is that you do not have to convert it yourself, and you'll be provided with a vehicle that is already livable. And if you do decide to go with an RV for your foundation, you can choose to get one new, you can choose to get one used, or you can choose to get one very used. New RVs are something I do not think are a good idea because they usually cost much more than even a high-quality custom conversion and are overpriced with cheaply made parts prone to break just as much as used RVs. The classifications of RVs are Class A, Class B, Class C, and then the large collection of towable ones that do not have an engine that will not be covered. Note that the classes do not progress in order from smallest to largest for some reason. Class A's are the largest and resemble a bus, and usually include systems like slide-out rooms, large appliances that resemble a house's systems, like large metal fridge, washer and dryer, full oven and stove, microwave, full sink, multiple bedrooms and bathrooms with a living room, and a flat front cab seamlessly attached to the living space. Now, the second largest type of RV is the Class C, which are like smaller scale versions of the Class A, except they have truck or van cabs in the front of them instead of the flat front of the Class A's. These cabs are usually Ford or Chevy models. And the last type of motorized RV is the Class B, which are more like converted vans with extended tops that have been made using many of the same RV parts and layouts as the other classes. These are made by RV manufacturers and are not custom built or designed like DIY builds, even though they may look like it. But there is one more type of RV that I know of, and that is the truck camper. It is a mix of the motorized and towable options because it is carried on top of a truck bed rather than towed or built onto a truck. If I already owned a good pickup truck and liked the more limited space, I would have considered this option more for my foundation. So it could be something to consider if you already have a good pickup truck and would like one of the cheapest ways to own a mobile living space. They can also be deployed on the ground, and the truck can still be used while the living space is separated. They are cool, but keep in mind they are still made with the same RV materials that can require repairs and fall apart. Now that RVs have been covered, we can continue to vehicles you might actually want to buy, and the ones that allow you to convert a vehicle from scratch and customize all the systems and layout. We will start from smallest to largest. A way that you can convert a vehicle if you really do not need much space, or even to stand up, and value the ability to camp in the city is a regular cargo van build-out. This can be done on a very small budget, as many videos have claimed, and they can still accommodate a simple setup of a bed, cooking items, and maybe a bathroom and a little bit of small storage. These vans can feature extended roofs and extended boxes that allow some people to stand up in them. Their prices are flexible, so if this is the best option for you, you can likely save up for a summer and find an affordable van for under $5,000. Just make sure to check with people that convert vehicles and mechanics before making a purchase, because there is a lot of dirty work vans out there for sale that should not be bought. You could also use this type as an entrance into the lifestyle or for an experimentation build. And now I will cover perhaps the most popular version of a conversion, and that is the Sprinter vans. Now, these Sprinter vans are widely regarded as the most popular form of vehicle conversion because they are small but big enough to stand up in for most people. They are more durably made than other models, and they have a very large community supporting new builders. The issues with Sprinter vans are that because of all this support, attention, and demand, they are very expensive, and becoming as expensive as RVs. There are many layouts and lots of support for these vehicles if you want a minimal vehicle that can support two people as long as you can afford the increased prices. It is also an option to buy a Sprinter van that is already converted. Sprinters are perhaps the most popular vehicle because they were used to coin the term van life. They are also the vehicle type that introduced me and many others to the possibility of living from a vehicle. Though, keep in mind, if you are not set on a Sprinter, for a similar price to an older, empty Sprinter van, you could get an already partially outfitted Type 2 ambulance. Now, a more rare and ambitious option for a conversion is the flatbed constructions. If you own a reliable flatbed truck or have an interest in starting completely from scratch and building whatever you want or mounting whatever you want onto a flatbed truck, or already have something you can mount to a flatbed safely, flatbed tiny homes are a very ambitious and unique way to have complete freedom with your build, as long as you can do it safely and professionally. Some experienced people have set up entire wooden cabins on top of their flatbeds in a variety of sizes. During my research, box trucks were the first vehicle I chose when I started saving up to actually buy something to convert into a home. I liked the space and the completely empty and unobstructed foundation that they provided. Anyone looking to use a box truck should be careful to find one that is in good shape, because many of them are heavily used and not taken care of. Box trucks are also not cheap, and I decided not to buy one because I did not find any in a good price range that were not dirty and high mileage. I overlooked ambulances as an option during my early stages of research because I had only really seen the outside of them and didn't expect much. However, they are much better than what I thought initially, and are one of, if not the best foundations to convert, in my opinion, upon further research. There are multiple types to choose from, and they can vary in their price. I did not choose this option because ambulances have recently increased in price due to sellers learning the possible value of ambulances to a conversion. Ambulances are, though, a very good option for the slightly above low price range. Some can be bought for pretty cheap, especially at government auctions. The benefits of choosing an ambulance are numerous because ambulances are durably built, some of the most durable possible foundations that are available because they are built to be able to roll over with minimal damage. They are built with very high quality materials, especially the interior and storage compartments, which are often taken out of ambulances to use in other conversions because of their design and quality. Ambulances are often well maintained while in service, with emergency services, and a lot of money was spent designing each lock, screw, and hinge on them to make sure they are sturdy and reliable. Aluminum is also one of the mostly used materials in ambulances, which is important because it does not rust and it is lightweight. Ambulance interiors are also resistant to mold and other issues that are common with cheaper materials, and they are also slightly insulated. Ambulances are categorized by types instead of classes. These types are Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3, like diabetes. Type 1 ambulances are truck cabs mounted to an ambulance box. Type 2 ambulances are van-style vehicles that do not have a box, but instead use an extended van top and is the smallest of the three types to convert. They are a good option for someone that wants a cargo van style setup, but like the durability and reliability of an ambulance that is already outfitted with many useful features and storage so they don't have to start with a completely empty cargo van. Finally, Type 3 ambulances are the most common seen in conversions, and most often use the largest boxes of the three types. The key difference is that the Type 3 uses a van chassis, like the Type 2, but it carries a larger box, and unlike the Type 1, which uses a truck chassis. Military trucks are a unique conversion that is not cheap. Military trucks for sale will likely be very expensive to buy new, or will be earlier models that are heavily used and not easy to find parts for, and not gas efficient at all. There are a few people that have outfitted military cargo trucks because of their off-road capability and standard features. These trucks are usually found at auctions from government sources. When I was looking for a vehicle, I wanted to turn a box truck into the style of a military cargo truck by getting it four-wheel drive and modifying it. But obviously, that turned out to be a much more custom and expensive job than I was thinking at first after researching. Military trucks, though, are very niche and will only work for people that can afford to keep them running and fueled and also fully convert. Buses are also a good option because of their affordability, durability, weight capacity, and space. For most school buses, there are three main engine styles. There is a rear engine, there is a traditional engine or dog nose, and there is a cab-over engine. Each engine layout has its own benefits, though with my research, I have concluded that rear engines are ideal for many people, although more rare. The second best option I've found is to be the common dog nose engine, because of its ease of access. The cab-over-engine bus is also an option, but for many conversions, the engine compartment is seen as an issue because of its difficulty to work on and maintain. Also because the noise it causes due to the engine being much closer to the interior. Though this engine compartment being under the cab can cause the bus to be shorter. Buses are one of the most diverse options because they have a large selection of sizes, intended uses, and prices. There are small buses that have been made using a van chassis with the school bus parts like the seating area and overhang added onto it. This type is unique because it often has a door for the driver rather than just a passenger entrance door. There are also medium-sized buses that are used to carry sports teams or a smaller number of children than the full-size buses. Short buses, though, can be more expensive than the larger buses because they are a more ideal space for most people that buy school buses. The benefits of full-size buses is that they have the most space, they are the most affordable most of the time, and they can be a good option if they are in good condition. But bus conversion options are not limited to school buses. There are also other options like shuttle buses, party buses, church buses, and transit buses. Shuttle buses are another option that are more suited for road use and are made of more fiberglass and wood compared to school buses, which are mostly metal. They are a good size, though, for conversion and can be bought for a low price. Many are not in good condition, so check to make sure it is reliable if you do decide to look for a shuttle bus. Some installations, though, can be difficult because of the fiberglass material on some shuttle buses, which is not as strong as metal. Now, let's backtrack to the ambulances for a second, because though I have already covered them, there is a type of ambulance that deserves its own classification. Last summer, I came across a type of vehicle I had not considered before because of its rarity and very little coverage online compared to the other options. This type of vehicle would be my ideal choice if I was able to find one for an affordable price. I would have liked to have known about this vehicle years ago, but it was not until recently that I was able to physically discover one for myself. That type is a medium-duty ambulance. They are large diesel trucks that are bigger than other ambulances and smaller than fire trucks. Medium-duty trucks are used to carry heavier, life-saving equipment and are therefore able to support more weight and have a structure and cab more similar to a semi-truck. Some brands they are made by are International, Freightliner, and Chevy. Now this would be a big conversion. It is another vehicle type that I've only recently found out could be converted. I have seen a lot of fire trucks for sale, and if I had the money to choose one of these, I would want to make a large conversion from it because it is also made with heavy-duty materials and durability. Fire trucks are a possible conversion because there are models that have large compartments that can be walked in. Those models are commonly referred to as heavy rescue fire trucks, hazmat trucks, and bomb squad fire trucks. Now I will give a summary of some of the best mechanical specifications I have encountered in my research. I have mostly researched diesel engines because of their suitability for larger loads and longer use. In general, for diesel engines, avoid the 6-liter engine if possible, because it is regarded as the worst option by many. Some of the best options I have heard of for engines are the 7.3, the 5.9, and the DT466, though make sure that the engine itself is good even if it is one of these preferred models, and even if it has acceptable mileage. For transmissions, make sure to avoid the AT545 if possible. It is the most common for school buses, but it is also the transmission that is the least adaptable and has common mechanical issues. Most of the other Allison transmissions have been recommended. The conversion options I have given in this video should give you an idea of the variety that is available and some of the models you could choose, though there is always innovation and more vehicle types being used. So I will provide more inspiration that I have come across in my research now.